What makes a man attractive to a woman for real? Not joking around here. This is serious business. Stay tuned. Well, hello and welcome. My name is Arica. Angelo. My name's not Africa. It's Arica. Angelo, and I've been a dating and relationship expert for 13 years, serving men just like you, helping you become the kind of man she just can't resist while not losing you or her. Did you like that? Welcome. So, what is it that makes you attracted to women for real? Because this ain't a game. This is for real. So here's the thing. When a man, I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. When a man is really comfortable in his sexuality, it makes women really attracted to him. That guy who just has no problem keeping it real with her and saying, listen, I'm into you. I desire you. I find you very attractive. You're very sexy. A guy who, when he knows it's appropriate, when it's right, has no problem gently removing the hair from her face, touching on her arm. I went to move my shirt and touch my boob. That's not what you want to do. But touching her arm, little strokes here, little playful gestures, nuzzling his mouth next to her ear and saying, I find you irresistible. Absolutely irresistible. And then backing away. It's this guy who really is comfortable with his sexual attraction. It really makes women can't resist this. This makes you super attractive to them. But there's a caveat. Are you ready for this? That's not it. That's not just it. You're like, of course not. We're talking about women here. Yeah, I know. So the other thing is this. I know you guys think we're complicated, but you know what? I've been coaching men for a long time, and let me just say, men are just as complicated. I'm just saying. But I love you guys. You guys are great. So the other thing is this, though. Yeah, we can talk about sexual attraction, and I think that that's very important, and I've done, obviously, a lot of videos on that, and you guys seem to really like those videos. But the other side of the equation is this, the emotional warrior aspect of it. Hey guys, no matter where you are in your journey with women, I've got you covered with one of my courses, so make sure that you check these courses out at aricaangelo.com. You see, if you just have sexual attraction, but you lack an ability to communicate with her, to communicate from your heart, to stand in tension when things are hard, to have boundaries and not put up with her bullshit, but to call a spade a spade. You know, when you're able to do all this, this is all of the characteristics of the emotional warrior. And so just to be sexual, just to have that sexual attraction is not enough because, you know, there are a lot of guys out there. You may not be one of them. Maybe that's why you're watching this. Maybe you are. But there are a lot of guys who are good in the quote unquote bedroom. They're good in escalating sexual tension with a woman. But because they lack that emotional warrior side, it's becomes very unattractive. So the guy who's very strong on the sexual side, she might be appealed to him for 2 weeks, maybe a month. But eventually that starts to fade away. Why? Because an emotional warrior is the kind of guy who knows how to keep the woman, to keep her engaged by, not being a pushover, by being a man of conviction who has values. And you may not even know what those are. And that's why I really encourage you, if you've never checked out my Emotional Warrior program, check that out, because this is really a journey of men reclaiming themselves so that when they show up with women, They don't get lost, so that when they show up with women, they don't back down, but they stand true to themselves. But sometimes we've not even gone on the journey to discover who we really are. And that emotional warrior program will take you on that journey. But so the sexual guy who's just sexual and doesn't have all these things, eventually, women are smart. Women are planners. I always say that, like, I don't think women are very honest when they go on a date. The first thing they're thinking is like, is there going to be a future with this guy? Can I see him? Can I see myself married to him? Can I see myself having, a life with him? Can I see him being the father of my children? Do I see myself walking down the aisle with him? Like, women are innate planners. And I think it's because, women carry babies for 9 months. We're ingrained. We have to be prepared because we're responsible for another life. That's all Arica's opinion. So she understands that guy who's just sexual, but like, let's say a hard conversation comes up, maybe stuff with jealousy, maybe stuff with, she's having a shitty day at work and she needs someone to be supportive. The guy who's just sexual, but he doesn't have those qualities that I've shared about an emotional warrior, he can't hold her up. And so eventually, like, she will go and say to her girlfriends, like, he's a good bang, he's a good shag, he's great in bed, but that's it. That's all he has to offer. But when a guy is able to bring both worlds in, this is what makes you super attractive for real. And just being an emotional warrior, let's cover that too. Let's say you're supportive emotionally. You know who you are. You're a man of conviction. But you're scared to really tap into your sexuality. You're scared to move forward with her sexually. That's going to turn her off as well. You got to have both. The sexuality thing, all of that comes from the heart. It's feeling comfortable in yourself. It's feeling like you can really trust yourself to listen and follow that chemistry, those desires that come up from the heart. Which, if you take this emotional warrior program, it will really give you access to your heart. But when you feel compelled to be sexual with her, because you feel it in your desires, you can trust yourself. I want to say that again. You can trust yourself. And so when you can trust yourself, you can trust when those desires come sexually and you see that there's a window of opportunity. She's open to it. She's just waiting for you to make the move. When you can trust yourself as that emotional warrior, because desire comes from where? The heart. And most of the time men don't realize when that moment of desire comes because they're so disconnected from their hearts. When you're tapped into your heart, that desire that comes through that says, I just want to kiss her. I just want to grab her in my arms and kiss her on the neck. When you're tapped into that aspect of yourself, you can trust yourself to move forward. Yes, it's still a risk. Yes, it still requires courage. But when you've cultivated the skills to become that man, to become the emotional warrior, you take those risks. So baby, when you've got both of those going on for you, this drives women wild. This is what makes them really attracted to you. But you need both. You need the polarity of being a man very comfortable with his sexuality, making those moves on her when there's that window of opportunity between the two of you where the magic and the chemistry is so thick and she just wants you to make that move. You can only do that when you trust yourself and you have that emotional warrior heart. So guys, listen, you can do this. You have this. You know, a lot of times it's developing things that muscles we've never even looked at before. You know, some of you may have never even heard of being an emotional warrior. And I really encourage you to check this program out because it's really going to support you so that you finally feel comfortable in your own skin. I mean, isn't that the point of being here, is to be able to enjoy life freely when we feel comfortable in our skin? So I highly encourage that you do that. I do believe there's even a payment plan with that. Make sure you check it out. But guys, it's those two things that make you really attractive to women, is when that you're that guy who's comfortable with moving forward with sexuality, and you're that guy who has those qualities of the emotional warrior that come hell or high water, like he knows how to navigate through the rainstorms of life. So remember this, that you have what it takes. Yeah, you might need to cultivate new skills, but also know that in this very moment that you, my dear, you're super loved. I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe.